Hi everybody, welcome back. So today is going to be my unboxing, explore the contents, initial test and review of the Qidi Shadow 5.5S SLA printer. To get the legal stuff out of the way, I purchased this printer with my own money from Amazon. I am not sponsored by Qidi or anybody else. I never even heard of Qidi until a few days ago. So now that that's out of the way, you're probably asking why I purchased an SLA printer. I have never felt the need to have one in the past. I have never used one. I've never been in the same room with one operating. So this is really going to be a noob's view of this from scratch. I normally print stuff. If you've watched my videos, you've seen me print Jeep taillight lenses and housings. You've seen me print ladder feet. You've seen me print compressor parts. All kinds of things. All of those are perfect for an FDM printer, and I have 4 FDM printers. I've been using them for several years now, but SLA is very, very different. I have no experience with it. Recently, an opportunity came along to print some very small, finely detailed items, and there might be a money-making opportunity there, you know, maybe, maybe not. But I tried doing it on the FDM printers, and while I could get them pretty good, they really weren't good enough. So I started looking around at the SLA printers. Of course, I looked at the Photon and the Elegoo Mars and those printers that have been around for a while. And while I like them, they're lacking some features that newer ones have. Now you can go to the Photon Zero, the Elegoo Mars Pro, and you can get those features, but you're also getting up there in price, $300, $400 and above. And this is not going to be a production printer, so I don't need anything like the e-packs. My first one I looked at was the Anycubic Photon Zero, which is like on the 11/11 sale on AliExpress and those guys. It's only going to be about $129, $139, which is a heck of a price for it. But then I started watching reviews of it, and it's got a smaller, even smaller print bed, you know, print volume than the others, and the others aren't much to brag about to begin with. These things are only really good for small parts, so where you really need to find detail. So I kind of, after watching some reviews, some people said the lower resolution of the Photon Zero didn't matter. Other reviews said you could tell the difference. So I started looking around. I thought maybe I can get an older Photon and do some upgrades on it. Then I found out the older Photons have the newer Photon S board, so a great deal of the user community stuff is not available for it like it was with the old Photons. So then I ran into a review on the Qidi Shadow 5.5S, and it was extremely positive. And then I saw another one which was also extremely positive. It's not perfect by any means. It was about a $300 printer, and of course these reviews are all from about a year ago when it first came out. So I looked around a little bit. It looks like they're going for about $260, $240, you know, from the usual Chinese retailers. And I saw it on Amazon for $149. I'm thinking, okay, something's got to be wrong with this. It can't be $149. So I kept looking around, and the best price I could find anywhere else than Amazon looked to be $219. So I watched some more reviews, and I decided, you know what? It's got everything I'm asking for it. It looks like a good beginner's SLA printer because it comes completely assembled. So let's get it. Let's see what it can do. So here it is. I haven't even opened the box yet. We're going to explore this together. This is going to be a complete noob's view of this. As I said, I do have a lot of experience with FDM printing, but this is very, very different. Not only is the way it prints very different, the materials it uses are very different, even the slicing is very different. Qidi supposedly has great after-sales support. Everybody seems to think they're a great company. So let's get this thing out of the box. Let's look and let's see if a complete noob SLA printing can get a print out of it. Okay, so I hope I've got a good camera angle for this. I mean, I only get one chance to open the box. Let's hope that we can get this done in one take, because that isn't my usual MO. So, it is well sealed up. It's sealed up completely all the way around, not just taped across the top. And let's see what we got. Put my knife away before I cut myself with it. That being said, here is the manual that comes with it. And in this bag, this was sitting right on the top. In this bag is the manual. It actually looks like a pretty nice manual. Pretty detailed. We'll have to see lots of pictures, lots of nice bold text. We'll have to see how their Chinglish is. This is a little sheet that helps you level the bed. This is a super thin piece of paper that you use to level the bed, and it has the instructions on it to do it. That's kind of nice. Let's set that down. Okay, so let's take a quick look at the specifications as shown in the manual. Shadow masking is how it works. 3.5-inch color TFT screen. It comes with a USB pen drive, which is how you use to get the connectivity. A UV LED, XY resolution of 0.047, a Z-axis accuracy of 0.00125, suggested layer thickness of 0.01 to 0.2, suggested print speed of 20 millimeters per hour, and a rated power of 50 watts, which is from what I understand pretty good for a printer at this price point. The dimensions, I'm not sure what dimensions those are. Are those the outer dimensions? They must be 245 by 230 by 420. Those must be the complete outer dimensions of the printer. The build volume is 115 millimeters long by 65 millimeters wide by 150 millimeters in height. Uses a 405 nanometer UV resin, and the net weight is 7.3 kilograms. So there are the specifications. Here is a note that says, the resin vat is made of aluminum die casting and painted with gold paint. At the later stage, the resin vat can be sprayed or soaked with alcohol to clean, but please do not soak the vat in alcohol for more than 12 hours before cleaning, and do not use a sharp scraper knife to scrape. The paint will be easily peeled off after scrape or soaking for a long time. Please use a paper towel stained with alcohol to clean the resin vat. Okay. Here is a little question and answer sheet. That's kind of interesting. We'll set that to one side. Here is a re-leveling instruction sheet. Actually pretty nice. Nice paper, nice glossy paper, full color. My quick look at it says the English actually looks pretty good. And then once again the full manual and the bag it came in. Next, take that out. Lots of styrofoam. Next we have a plastic scraper, a 16 gig Toshiba memory card, some Allen wrenches, and looks like some extra screws. They might not be extra. I've heard these, you have to put the vat in. And in this it looks like we got a couple of nitrile gloves. Here we have a metal scraper, just what a guy who has 4 3D printer needs is another metal scraper. But hey, you know what? If you're starting from square one, you don't have that. We have a little flat blade screwdriver. Actually, it looks like a pretty decent little flat blade screwdriver. It's got some rubber overmolding in the plastic, and actually looks like they set the shaft in straight, which is kind of unusual for cheap screwdrivers. Power cord and a power brick. Interesting. A Jing size 72 watt power brick. Okay. Another styrofoam. Wow. Another big styrofoam block molded to fit. And we have the printer inside that. Let's see if we can weasel it up out of there. There it comes. Get the box out of the way. You'll notice my E-Tech A10N moved over, and I committed a clean just so I would have a place to put this and work with it. I don't really want 4 printers in this room, but kind of running out of space for such a small room. I just wanted to weasel that styrofoam out of there and see if there's anything in under it, but it doesn't want to come out, so Whoops, so we'll worry about that later. I don't think there's anything under it. Let's get the printer out. Back to the knife. I reposition the camera a bit so you can see it a little better. There we go. Alright, this is obviously the back of it. On the back we have the fan, the power switch, and looks like where the power brick plugs in. This side is nothing. The front has the LCD screen with a little bit of plastic over it. The other side has a USB port and a little warning, probably tells you not to stick some soft, fragile part of your body into it. Let's take the cover off. On the top we have a sticker that gives us a phone number, 2 names and phone numbers, Amy and Tracy at Qidi3dprinter.com for after sale support. That's kind of nice. Put it right there where you can see it easily. Let's get some of this plastic out of the way. Oh, and it's kind of nice. It has Qidi Tech at the top. Nice. That's a nice feeling part. Nice and solid feeling. On the top we have some masks and some paper funnels like you get down at the hardware store when you buy paint. Got some more styrofoam. There's something inside this styrofoam. Let's see what it is. We have the print head itself with some protective plastic on it. Wow, that's a heavy part. That feels like that is made out of steel. Set that down. There appears to be nothing else in there, so that will go in the box. And loosen these screws up and see if the vat will come out. There is the vat. Now, from what I understand, and you guys who have done this before will laugh at me if I'm telling it wrong, and you'll correct me, and that's good. The way these work is this vat has a clear bottom. The vat sits on top of the LCD screen, which is right here. You fill the vat with the resin. The LCD screen projects UV light, which cures one layer of resin. It moves up, cures another layer, and that's how they work. Simply put. Very simply put. So, let's get the instructions out and let's see what it says to do first. Let's look at these question and answer sheets to see if any of them apply to us. No, the model doesn't stick, the cracks. Okay, this is all after you've got it and you've tried it. Re-leveling instructions, that's all going to be after. So, the user manual, safety instructions, we'll just skip that because we're as safe as we're ever going to get over here. Packing list, unboxing, well, too late for that. It doesn't tell me that there is anything underneath that bottom styrofoam, so I don't think it is. So, tells me what the different parts are. Home menu, print system tool menu, main directory, assembling and leveling instructions. Alright, unpack the machine and remove the protective film outside. Open the top cover, take out the wrapping materials and print platform. Do not install the print platform until step 5. Loosen the vat screws, remove the resin vat. We did all that. Make the resin vat is bottom side be upward. There's your Chinglish for you. And bottom FEP film be upward to prevent scratches. Make the resin vat is bottom side upward and bottom FEP film be upward. Alright, I'm not exactly sure what they're trying to tell me there. Check and ensure the 2K LCD screen and platform are clean and free of dust. Plug in the power and turn on the power switch. Okay, I'm going to set the vat with what I'm assuming is the FEP film. Plug in the power and turn on the power switch. Let's do that. There is the first part of the power cord. I'll plug it in to my power strip. Let's get my coffee out of the way. It's cold anyway, and I don't want to spill it here. Alright, I'm just going to leave that power cord bundled there because I'm not going very far. Okay, it is plugged in, and let me move the camera again, and we'll look at this screen together. Sorry about that. Okay, so that should be a slightly better view. Let's flip the power on. Power switch is on. And there we go. We see print, system, and tools. Hope you can see that. Print, system, and tools. Let's see what the next step is. Next step is, as shown on figure 2, can you see that? As shown on figure 2, click the 10mm up icon on the screen to move the Z-axis upward. Okay, there is no 10mm up there. I need to be in system, I'll bet. System. About, after, sales, service, language, and back. Okay, doesn't really seem like I need to be in system. How about in print? Nope. How about back? How about tools? Set Z to 0, calibrate, manual, dock, and stop. Okay, it doesn't tell me what screen it is. That screen I don't see anywhere. I think they want me, I think the screens are different now than they were that they showed me, because I don't see that anywhere. Manual maybe? There it is. That's where they wanted me to be. They don't tell me that in there. They just say, they go right from turn it on to click the up arrow. Okay, so we're on Z, we're on 10mm, we want to go up. And I will I'll move you up to see the head. There we go, up, and there we go up. Okay, go up 10mm. Raise the Z-axis to 50 to 100mm in height as shown in figure 3. Okay, so I need to go up 4 more of these to get to 50. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that's 50. You know what? It says 50 to 100, so let's go up 2 more just for good luck. Okay, install the platform to platform bracket. Platform to platform bracket. Okay, I have a feeling the only thing left to install, other than the vat, is this. So let's let me zoom out a little bit here. There we go. Platform to platform bracket. Whoops, I just banged the tripod, sorry. Platform to platform bracket. Boy, that is a nice fit too. They put there is I don't know if you saw it before, but there is a detent on the top of there. Not a detent, but a what would you call that? I'd call it a detent, but a little depression where the head of this thumb screw fits into, so it kind of locks it in one certain spot. That's kind of nice. That fits really nicely. That is a pleasure to see, little touches like that. Okay, next step. Tighten the screws of platform, put in a, okay, so they do want the vat in. Screw of platform, man. The Chinglish is, I'm starting to see it now. Okay, somewhere along they wanted the vat in, but they don't show it in. Okay, what do they want me to do? Tighten the screws, put a leveling paper on the 2C LCD screen. Okay, let me find the leveling paper. That was back over here. Let me move the vat. And boy, that vat is heavy. Jeez. That is a solid chunk of aluminum. Okay, there it is. Whoops. There is my leveling paper. And it says, so if you can see it, I hope you can see it, pulling the leveling paper to check if there is obvious resistance. The Z-axis height is adjusted when the resistance is large, but the leveling paper can be taken out. Return to the tools interface, set Z to 0, yes to complete. Okay, so we're going to put that in there like it says. I'm assuming I'm supposed to remove this protective tape by now, so let's do that. Alright, it's off. So, install the platform bracket, tighten the screw, put a leveling paper on. Function test of UV LCD. Gradually rise the platform. Shut up, phone. Gradually rise the platform about 120 millimeters, then click on Tools, TP Adjust, and Next. Okay, we're not 120 millimeters up yet. I think we were 70. There's 80, 90, 100, 110, 120. Okay, now tools and TP adjust. Alright, so let's go back and find tools. Tools and TP adjust, and of course there's nothing in here that says TP adjust, so this manual is for, it looks like an older model, so not that, that's where we just were. Calibrate, press the I can't read it from where I am, press the exposure time of the test image. Alright, that's what it wants. The 2K LCD screen should display a complete rectangular as shown in figure 6. Okay, so let's do that. So I don't know why they want that paper over there, but 15 seconds they show more than that, but let's just try it. Start exposure. Okay, you can probably see it there, that it lit the LCD panel up blue. And when the 15 seconds is up, it will go out. There we go. Okay, so we have tested, my tripod's falling apart. Hang on, let me tighten the leg up. There we go. So our test for that is complete. It says the 2K screen should display a complete rectangular as shown, and it did. Let's do it one more time. Let's go back. Let me get you raised up so you guys can see it a little better, and I want to see it better myself because I wasn't looking at it as well as I should. Mule, that wasn't there, it was in calibrate, and this is going to be 15 seconds again, and next, and let me get my head up there. Yes, that is a nice rectangle all lit up, so that is good. And what is next after that while we're waiting for the 15 seconds to end? When the leveling is done, okay, where did it have me level it? they go right from test the LCD screen to leveling it. To leveling is done. All right. Wow. Assembly and leveling instructions, but they didn't have me level it anywhere. They just assume after we test the LCD that leveling is done. Okay, well, we're going to have to figure that one out on our own. Maybe one of the other sheets will help us with that. Let's go to one of these addendum sheets. And of course, our leveling paper also tells us how to do it. So, okay. Tools, set Z to 0 and say yes. All right. Now, do I do that with the vat in place or not? I don't know. It didn't tell me that. Let's let's look at one of these other sheets. There was one that said releveling instructions. No, it looks like it is done without the vat in place. And you see it right here. It looks like it is done without the vat in place. That's kind of interesting. I would not have expected that. Yeah, it is done without the vat in place. Okay. All right, so there you go. It is done without the vat in place. So let's put our paper in. And we are going to go to Z-axis and set to 0. And then we are going to move it up one at a time. Is that right? We're going to move it up one at a time? Wow. They really do need to hire somebody to help them with their manuals. Loosen the screw with a wrench, and they show it. Okay, so we loosen this. Loosen the screw with a wrench. What screw? Loosen the screw with a wrench. So is this supposed to be loose to do this? Put a leveling paper on the two. Yeah, they show that being loosened. They show you loosening this screw. I don't know why you'd need a wrench. It's a thumb screw. Put a leveling paper on the 2C on the LCD screen. Please strictly follow the next steps to level the build platform. As shown in Figure 1, click Tools and Manual. Okay, let's go back. Tools and Manual. There we go. And then Home. Okay, there's a little button that looks like a house. So tap it, and there it goes moving down. I should get you guys out so you can see the screen too. Sorry. Wait for the Z-axis to descent, and then it will stop automatically. Click emergency stop if you need to stop the Z-axis, and there it says emergency stop on it. This one, the red button just says stop. Okay, it's beeping at me. I don't know why. Okay, so it says after the platform is secured, if it is far from the 2K LCD screen, then click to lower the Z-axis by 0.1 millimeter on the touchscreen until you feel resistance when pulling the paper. Well, there's quite a bit of resistance pulling the paper there. It's dragging the head around. Okay, use a single click, do not press. I'm not going to lower it at all because there's good resistance there. I mean, if I try and push it in, I'm going to leave that alone because I don't know any better. Gently finger press on top of the platform and let the platform fit evenly. Gently finger press. I'm not sure exactly what they mean by gently finger press the top of the platform and let the platform fit evenly on the 2K LCD screen. Then use Allen wrench to fix the platform screw as tightly as possible. They show I see, they show that screw being loose. There's no screw in there on mine. There is no screw in there on mine at all. That's not good. let's find that little bag that had some extra parts in it. Was there a screw supposed to be in there? There are no screws in here that look like they belong in there. The screws that are in that package are only little countersunk screws, and that certainly I do not believe would go in there. So that's kind of interesting. Let me grab a flashlight real quick and look down in there and see if there's anything in there. There's nothing in there. No, you're wrong. There is an Allen screw in there. Hard to see it because it's black. So let's see if they gave us a wrench for it, and let's try it again. That's the, where did that little package I just have go? Here's the little screwdriver. There's one package. What did I do with that package? There it is. Let's get that Allen wrench out. It's probably the biggest of them. So we're going to get out this Allen wrench. Does that fit that? It does. So I'm going to do this again. Since I failed to loosen that screw, since I didn't see it, let's move it up 10 millimeters. Let's loosen this screw. Damn. Somebody didn't want that coming loose in shipping. Wow. Oh, holy cow. So, was this not supposed to be loose then, maybe? I'm not sure what this... You know what I'm going to do? I want to see what that screw does. What does this screw do? I'm going to loosen it a lot. It doesn't seem to do a damn thing. Okay, fine. I don't know. Alright, so... loosen the screw with a wrench. That was the one here that I just loosened. They also show they show something else. Oh, I see. I'm going to loosen this one slightly too, because that's the only one that seems to actually do anything. And let's home again. Okay. It seems to be pretty good. I'm not sure what they what the whole finger press thing is about. Gently finger press on top of platform and let the platform fit evenly on the 2K screen. I see they show fingers like this. And then tighten that Allen wrench, which doesn't seem to actually do anything. Okay. I see what they're saying. You can kind of feel here how that fits. It's kind of going to be a kind of get it in the middle kind of thing. All right, so let's do that. All right, that feels about good right there. Let's tighten this up. It doesn't really seem to do a damn thing. And let's tighten this up, which is the only one that really does seem to do anything. And now it says the platform must be parallel with the LCD, and it shows some ridiculously out of parallel with X's on them and then a green check mark when it is parallel. Since the tightenings, the screw of the platform will change the tightness when pulling the paper, you need to fine-tune the Z-axis. And it did a little bit. It's loose over here and tight over there. I'm guessing that's not supposed to be like that. I wonder why that did that. It's very loose on the right and still tight over on the left. So let's try this again. I don't know how much of a difference that makes. Okay, it's still like that. Something isn't completely flat because it's kind of loose over on this side and kind of tight over on this side. I'm going to pull that back apart and I'm going to see exactly what this screw does. I will be right back. Okay, I discovered something. I think they must have done something, or maybe it was just in shipping, but when I loosened this before, nothing happened. I loosened it and I gave it a good Hulk twist, and now you can see it's like it's set into a ball. So this is probably supposed to remain tight when you do this. So let's go back in and tighten that, and then this has that swivel. Yay. So we're going to home again. Alright, so now I don't feel it anymore where it fit onto the LCD screen. Interesting. I think it needs to go down a little bit. It does need to go down a little bit. So we're going to move it down. We're going to come over here to the 0.1 millimeter mark and we're going to go down. And I'm going to do it again. And again. Alright, now we're nice and tight feeling. Now can I feel, still can't feel now the LCD under there. That's kind of interesting. Before I could, now I can't. But now I have the resistance I think I want. So I'm going to look up above, and honestly I cannot feel that LCD screen like I could the first time. So I'm just going to kind of eyeball it, square, and I'm going to tighten that up, and then we'll look and see what it is. Okay, that feels good now. It's nice and tight. It feels about the same tightness on both sides. I am going to go up 10 millimeters, have a look at it, make sure it's square with the LCD. I did a damn good job on that. It is very square with the LCD. Let's put the paper back in and let's say home, and let's kind of make sure it's about the same. Make sure everything is tight, and home again. And now I got a bunch of gap. I wonder if that is supposed to be like that to make room for the vat. Return to tools, set. Oh, I shouldn't have done what I did. Okay. Alright, well I can live with that. I wasn't supposed to do what I just did. I was supposed to set Z to 0 after I leveled it, and I didn't. I hit up instead. So now I got to do it over again. Alright, I'm going to loosen that. I'm going to leave this one tight. Okay, so I have to do that again. Did that loosen? It did. So I'm going to go up 10 millimeters. I'm going to home. Okay, now I'm loose, so I've got to go to 0.1 millimeters. I've got to go down. I think that's pretty good. Now all I got to do is get it nice and square. And I'm just going based on the aluminum edges on this to what I think looks square. And I'm going to tighten it. Okay. That feels pretty good, just like it did before. Now, my mistake before was return to tools by clicking back and set Z to 0. this reset the Z-axis position. I can't read that. I can't get my head close enough. I can't read that. So I'm supposed to say confirm or cancel. Going to say confirm. Okay, so that is the extent of the leveling instructions that came on this extra sheet, since it seemed to have been missing out of the main manual. So let's continue on. When the leveling is done, please click 10mm upwards 5 to 6 times. Okay, so we need to go back to manual and back to 10mm and 5 or 6 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Install the resin vat. Put the resin vat on the 2K LCD screen. Do not push the resin vat in. Pushing the vat in will cause the FEP scrapes to the LCD screen. Okay, well, we don't want to cause the scrapes. Make sure the resin vat is nice and clean, then install the resin vat till it aligns with the 2 limit screws on the panel. Tighten the vat screws on both sides to secure the vat. Okay, I had a small microfiber cloth here. I don't know where it went, but I have another one here. So we're just going to kind of make sure that this is clean. And we'll do both sides, and we'll try not to touch it with my big fat greasy fingers. And we'll do the same to the LCD screen. Alright, now do not slide it in because it will cause scratches to the screen. So, you know what? That could go a little higher and it wouldn't hurt. Might make it a little easier. Okay, maybe that will be better. I just touched it, so let's wipe it clean again. Alright. So I'm going to set it down here and then reach around. I just touched the LCD panel, but I can see that this is nearly impossible to do. Okay, so I'm going to hold it up against those L brackets, set it down, and then we're just going to line it up. Okay, and tighten it, and tighten it. So we've done that part. What's next? Apparently, fully assembled wasn't quite fully assembled. But the other reviews I watched showed you had to put the vat in. Okay, the vat is in. After aligning the 2 circular grooves I see with the screw, tighten the screws. We did that. Please hold the resin vat slightly so there's a gap, then slide it in. We did that. Now they talk about installing the slicing software. So let's go over to the computer and let's get the slicing software installed, which should be on the USB stick they provided. And there's the stick is. Let's go over to the computer. So here we are over at my computer. I have the stick and the drive. There is a single folder on it called Shadow 5.5S. And inside it, there is a startup guide with an unboxing video, the Cheeto box, Cheeto box. I'm going to call it Cheeto box because I love Cheetos. And there is some videos in there as well. And I've watched the videos. They're okay. They're very basic. There is the test print we're going to do shortly, the Piggy Bank CTB file. CTB is Cheeto box. And first print, here is another little video. The videos are worth watching, but they don't make up for the fact of how old the manual is in comparison to the current firmware that's on the printer. UV correction, another little video, again, worth watching. Model post-processing, which is how to clean it and all that, again, worth watching. A repair video, how to replace the LCD screen, which is kind of nice, assuming you break your LCD screen, how to clean up after a print failure, and the leveling procedure, which
I should have watched to begin with and didn't, and struggled my way through it, but that's okay. How to add support in your first print, a little bit of Cheeto box instruction. If you want Cheeto box instruction, to be honest, go to 3D Printing Pro. He seems to be one of the better guys on the web doing it. And there is my phone again. And you know what? I'm not going to go through the Cheeto box install because all I want to do is the first print. So that's the drive. That's what's on it. Let's go back and let's do that first print that's already been sliced for us.
Okay, so first things first, I have my gloves on. This stuff is supposed to be toxic. I recommend you be careful. I also recommend that you think for yourself. Read the material data, safety sheet, whatever it's called, and formulate your own opinion of how much safety gear you need. While it's never a bad idea to listen to the supposed experts, it's always a good idea to learn how to think instead of what to think. So, with that being said, you'll see I added this underneath of it, so I will just have it up at a better height. For me, I'm kind of tall at 6'4". I also added a glass tray underneath of it from an old microwave I just tossed. I can't believe it fits perfectly, but you know, once every 10-15 years I luck out that way. So my printer did not come with a sample of resin, so I purchased this Anycubic Gray off Amazon. It was $16.95 for 500 grams. So I'm going to use that to start with. Let's go back to the instruction sheet real quick, and you'll see that after we install the slicer, and we're not going to use the slicer today. I'm going to use the slicer, the sliced that's on, the STL that's on the stick. So I'm going to skip all that part for now. We'll come back to that at another time. And now we have first printing instructions. Ensure the Z-axis is working. We did that. The platform is leveled. We did that with the sheet they gave us. And the LCD screen is functioning, and we did that. So let's begin. Put the USB pen drive in the USB port, wear the masks and gloves, pour the resin into the vat until it reaches 1/3 the volume. Please note that the resin does not directly contact the skin. Yeah, thanks Mom. Alright, so let's take the top off. Let's put the USB stick in. Let's flip it off, the power on. If I can find the power button back there somewhere. I'm not used to feeling for this one. There it is there. And we're going to pour the resin in, being careful not to get the lotion on the skin until it's about, oh man, that shit smells bad. Woo! Till it's about 1/3 high. And I don't know exactly what 1/3 is. I'm going to call it that right there. Hell, that was about 1/3 of it, if not more. Okay, let's put the lid back on because that shit stinks. Sorry, language, but it does stink. I heard there's some that smells less, and this thing has a couple little filters in the back of it, so hopefully with the lid on it will keep it down. So it says, take off the gloves. Well, okay, we'll do that in a moment. Now we'll do it now. The touch screen probably won't work. I didn't get any resin on the gloves, so I'm just going to save them for another time. I've got a box of them in the garage anyway. So I'm kind of shocked they fit my hands. Most of the gloves that come with Chinese stuff, it looks like it's meant, I mean, it's too small for my wife. Select Piggy Bank CBDDLP test files and start printing. Okay, well, that's about all it says. So let's say print. And can you see that? Let me zoom you in a little bit. And, you know, my wife came in my room the other day and said, you know, you shouldn't be stumbling and bumbling around. You should just know right what you're doing and tell them how to do it. And I said, but that's the whole point of this video. What would the new user experience be? And I don't know what I'm doing, so how would I tell them? So let's go back, and that's what we're doing. We're stumbling and bumbling around. What's the new user experience here? So I'm going to tap print. I am going to look on that drive And what's it on? I bet it's on that one. And test file maybe. And piggy bank. I bet that's it. And one of these has to be a print button. I can't see it from where I'm sitting. Excuse my face if it gets in. That looks like a garbage can. That looks like a play button. And that looks like a back button. So let's try that one. Oh, it's working. It's working. I'm going to zoom you. I'm going to pause momentarily and get the legs out. Maybe I won't pause. Let's just see if I can get the legs out a bit and get this thing higher so you can kind of see what's happening. Sorry, I know it's all over the place. I might try trimming some of this out. It's beeping a lot. It says it's 1% done. Okay. How is that? Is that better? There we go. Sorry for all the shaking around. I really wasn't very well prepared for that. But here we go. First print. Let's see what happens. I don't know what to expect. But I guess I will after this. I'll probably speed you up through this because I know this video is getting pretty long anyway. Okay, it's all done. Let's have a look. It says on the bottom screen, printing done, elapsed time 3 hours and 35 minutes. Let's have a look at it. I don't have anything sitting here in front of me to clean it in though, unfortunately. Oh, let me get the gloves back on. Okay, there you go. My first ever print on this printer, and this printer's first ever print on itself. Let me get it off of here, and I will rinse it off in some cleaner, and we'll take a closer look. Okay, it is washed and cured, and the only thing I had to wash it in was alcohol in a little cup. And I just stuck it in and with my gloved finger swirled it around, and then I used a small UV flashlight for 2 or 3 minutes to cure it. And gotta tell you, it looks pretty good. Hope you're seeing it there good. It turned out, I mean, better than I would have hoped for a noob with his first SLA printer and the first print on an SLA printer by aforementioned noob. So that's really, really nice. So with that being done, let me pull back and reset the camera, and I'll be back with my thoughts on this printer. Okay, so what are my final thoughts on the Qidi Tech Shadow 5.5S resin printer? Well, first off, I want to remind you that I have no other resin printers to compare it to. So what I'm talking about now is my impressions of it being a quality product good. Does it come with the right amount of accessories? Does it come with the right amount of tools and instructions to get you up and running to produce a quality first print? That's where I'm going from here. And for me, the answer is absolutely. It is a quality product. There is nothing about this printer that does not speak quality to me, at least from what I've seen and from the little bit I've used it. Also, let's talk once again about print quality. This was the test print. Now, while I don't have any other prints from other SLA printers here, you know what? I've done enough FDM 3D printing to know what is a quality product and what is not. And this is a quality print. I have compared it in pictures to other things, and you know what? It's solid everywhere. There's no missing parts. It did not fail in any way, shape, or form. So it prints really, really well. So that's another indication that it is a quality product, and it came with enough accessories and instructions to get a noob at SLA Printing, to get them going and get a test print. Now, what about it didn't I like? I wish it had have come with resin. But you know what? When it costs $300, it did come with resin. Now that it's half that price, I guess, you know, adding a bottle of resin into it was just a little bit too much for them. And so I guess I can understand that. I'm not going to complain. It would be nice if it came with, you know, just enough to make your first test print. But I'm going to forgive them for that. Resin's not expensive. Buy some off Amazon when you order it. It's an extra 17 bucks. Big deal. I forgive them. The next thing about it, the user experience and getting it out of the box and getting it assembled. It came 97% assembled. The little bit you had to assemble was very easy and very straightforward. The leveling procedure was easy and straightforward. There's really nothing about it that was very difficult. The worst part of the new user experience was this. This manual goes to an older version of the firmware. The pictures of the screens, they all go with an older version of the firmware. So while you can muddle your way through it, their instructions are not exact. Now, they did provide some addendums to fill in there, and they supplied those videos on the stick, which are very basic but are nice. They should help you fill in the gaps, and this really nice little leveling paper with instructions on it also seems like a nice touch. It came with gloves and scrapers and masks and a screwdriver, 2 scrapers. It came with all of that, so that was all really nice. So, one thing I did forget to mention, another slight moan and niggle, is the fan is a little on the noisy side. I've got tinnitus. I'm getting older. My hearing isn't what it once was. I've been in a lot of loud environments in my life, so the fan doesn't really bother me. It might bother you. I'm sure there is a silent fan on the market that you could get and swap in for 7, 8, 9, 10 bucks, and then it would be quiet. So, with all that being said, what do I really think? Do I like this? The real question is, was my noob experience good? Would I buy this again? Would I recommend it to another noob? Or would I recommend it to somebody who already has, you know, a Photon or an Elegoo Mars or something like that as a second inexpensive printer, to kind of as a backup or to fill in or things like that? And for me, the answer is absolutely yes. This is a solidly built little device. It prints really well. It comes with everything you need other than some resin to get started. And hey, maybe my box was a fluke. Maybe you are still supposed to get the resin. Mine didn't contain it. Again, I forgive them for that. So yes, I think this is a fantastic printer for the noob. I think it is a great printer for somebody who just wants a second one or maybe a third one. You know, who knows? I certainly would buy it again, and I certainly would recommend it. So that's it for this time. I'm going to be making some more videos on this printer and maybe a little bit on Qidi box. I've got some mad scientist experiments I want to try with some resins and things like that. And I'm not going to forsake my my FDM printers. I still use those for a lot of things, and I'm going to continue to use them for a lot of things. So you'll see me make videos on those as well. There are some, of course, Amazon affiliate links below if you would use them. If you want to purchase this printer or resin, I'd really appreciate it. It really does help me out a lot. And that's it for now. Please like and subscribe and hit notifications, and I'll catch you guys the next time. Thanks for watching.